Yo, yo, yo!
Skate the Cape.
Skate the Cape!
Yo, welcome back to the Virtual Slide Jam Podcast. We got your hosts, myself, Kurt, Rob Wheeler here, and Jarrid Lopez.
Howdy, howdy.
Today, we are going to be chatting about what happened at Skate the Cape 10. A little recap episode for y'all.
Skate the Cape, better see you at the Slide Jam. Make it to the bottom, feeling pretty fly, man. You know I love it when you're all chilling here with us, and we be playing music and you all get to be hearing us.
I wanna get smacked. Get smacked. Get smacked. Hey!
It was pretty magical hearing that song live.
Oh, yeah, it's so much better live every time.
Yeah, Kurt, what was your experience as someone who's never been to Skate the Cape
Yeah.
before?
Yeah, we popped your cherry. What did you think, man?
Dude, it delivered, man. Yeah, I had so high of hopes for it. You guys hyped it up so much. And then, yeah, dude, like, I saw the hill, and I was just like, okay, like, this is a little hill. Let's see what happens. And I took a little run down it, and I was like, oh, shit, this is actually, like, quicker than I thought. And then, like, from then on, it was just, like, banger after banger. Like, the events just kept coming. And I was just like, what? Border cross? What? Hippie jump? What? Dance contest? What? Skate? Oh, my God. Like, this is the sickest shit. And, yeah, it was just super fresh. Like, you guys did a real good job just keeping it moving and keeping the interest high. And I've never seen an event in such a small area with such a big attendance of crowd. Like, that's what really blew me away.
Yeah, dude. We go hard in the paint.
Yeah, we have, I mean, that's a benefit of doing it 10 times as you start to build up the local crowd and people who, come there just to watch.
Dude, yeah, and everyone just seemed so stoked, like, the whole time through. Like, I felt like I was just, like, swimming through swaths of stoke. The town was beautiful. Like the ocean air, being near the beach the whole time was amazing. Like, I took a run down all the way to the beach and, like, just walked into the ocean. And that was just, like, you don't get a chance to do that. Like, usually when I want to get away from people at a skate event, I've got to, like, go into the porta potty or some shit. Going to the ocean is way better.
Yeah, I mean, once you're there, it's like you're on vacation and you don't even know you're in Delaware either. You're like, where the hell am I?
Yeah, that's the biggest mind-blowing part. You do not think you're in Delaware because it's just all because on the way to the event, you just see a bunch of farmland and rural areas. You're like, there's hills out here, and then you finally get into the park. And you go, what? No way.
Yeah, it was really cool. Really cool rolling into, like, a really big park with, like, it just felt like you were camping all of a sudden. And then seeing you guys, like, together, all of us together at the campfire, like, sharing ideas, shooting the shit, that was a real special moment. So, yeah, dude, totally worth it going there. It was amazing. It was amazing. And just having the skate community come together, like, the airlines lost my baggage. So, like, I was like, fuck, what am I going to do? And then I got a sleeping bag, got a tent to sleep in. Like, everything went awesome. Timmy B hosted me, like, showed me around Philly. Got to skate FDR, which is, like, always a dream of mine.
Nice. Legendary skate park.
Never would have thought I'd skate FDR. Like, leave it to a longboarding event to go skate one of my dream skate parks. Like, yeah, dude. I mean, Delaware surprised me. That's all I'm going to say about that.
That's awesome.
Surprises everybody, dude.
Yeah. So, Rob, I mean, you were, like, the man of the hour. You were in work mode. How was it for you? Like, how did it feel? Did it feel like serendipitous to, like, be bringing it back and doing it for a 10th year? No, it was the last one. Like, you must have been going through a swath of emotions.
Yeah, like I was super excited leading up to it, planning it. It was kind of short notice once we learned we had to move the event from November to March, but it was kind of awesome. It just went full gear, full focus, and I can't believe it's over now. Every time I get to the campground and the hill, yeah, it's so many memories because I've skated that hill, before I started the event, and So that hill has a lot of special memories, and then thinking back to all the different Skate the Capes. But yeah, when I get to that campground, it's just like, oh man, this gonna be fun. And the first day I was stressed out getting everything set up, but then once Saturday skate event started flowing, everything just fell into place, and the weather was perfect, and everyone was doing their jobs, and it was just really fun from then on. I'd say by the time we got to the dance comp, I was like relaxing and really enjoying everything, and that was one of my favorite events of the weekend. The dance comp, having the DJ, the riders pick their own songs, and the DJ sets all day. It just really felt like a skate party day and night. So I checked all the boxes for Skate the Cape for me, which was awesome. Did everything I wanted to do, and it was really cool seeing everyone and talking to everyone and hearing their ideas for the future of Skate the Cape was great. It's funny, everyone's getting older. They're like, we don't have to do the skate events anymore. It's fine. Let's just hang out. So it's always great to catch up with everyone. I love the skateboard and longboard community. It's such a cool group of people, and especially the Skate the Cape group. Like, people keep coming back to that event, and people that like only skate at Skate the Cape, basically. So always great to see so many people. It's basically like I compare it to like it's a skate wedding, basically, where I'm the groom.
It kind of is, or a low key reunion.
Definitely feels like a reunion.
Yeah, I would
Yeah,
say the
dude.
highlight for me was the pickles.
Yes, JC
Yeah.
Pickles, dude.
So good. And
Oh,
Yeah,
they're
so
so
good.
amazing.
the low point
Dude,
for
I think I'm
for
gonna
me
hit.
was you making me
I think I'm
make
gonna
the
send them
moves.
an email so they can sponsor me, dude, because they're so damn good. I legitimately want to try to get their product in Virginia just because it's such a damn good product. Like, I'm like shaking at them, like, sell your shit in Virginia, dude. It's like, we're working on it. It's like, not fast enough. Like,
You can be the distributor.
Yeah, right.
oh man, maybe I should be a distributor. Just have boxes of pickles in my apartment and just it's
Yeah,
just
they last the
oh,
shelf life.
Don't burn your own supply, Jared.
I can't promise that. It's such a good product, man. I know what they say. Don't get high off your own supply, but dang, it's so good. Like, I'm gonna have to ask him to send like an extra bottle just for myself. You know what I mean?
I'm not too sure. But I think Timmy B might be sponsored by them. I know he was getting hooked up with the pickles, and he was rocking their sweatshirt during the slide
He's
jam. So
definitely rocking a sweatshirt, and that's a pretty cool
Oh yeah.
sweatshirt,
we
by the
already
way.
got a
It's pretty good looking.
product
I'm gonna have to
placement.
buy one real soon.
Is that the are you gonna change your answer of non-longboard company dream sponsor, Jared?
Well, funny story. I didn't get sponsored by Mount Olive Pickles, but they did send me a very generous care package
What?
with a bunch of swag and products. Um,
No
so
way.
yeah, no, real story. I sent them a message. They're like, "Hey, so thank you for your interest in the brand. Unfortunately, we don't sponsor athletes, but we would be more than willing to send you a care package." And they sent me a longboard with like a Mount Olive Pickles graphic on it. They sent
No.
me obviously some pickles. They sent me a tote bag, hat, shirt, stickers. It was
Wow.
kind of rad. I'm not gonna lie.
What
But
happened to this board?
what happened to the board? It's under the desk right now.
Oh my god, dude. Can I see it?
Yeah, we gotta see this.
Oh gosh. Okay. All right, you boys keep talking. I'm going to mute the microphone because it's going to be a little loud, ruffling and buffling underneath the table here. So stand by. Continue on.
Thank you. Yeah, but yeah, actually, GC Pickles, one of the guys that's involved with it, he came to Skate the Cape long ago. So it was again just part of the skate fam. Pickles.
Dude, yeah, I'm new to the whole Old Bay flavoring. I think that's what
Oh
it's
yeah,
called.
that's a Maryland, Delaware, Mid Atlantic thing. I'll ask my family to send me some back. They don't got it out here. I couldn't believe it when I moved out to Cali. I was like, "Where's the Old Bay?"
Dude, it seems like the East Coast in general just has like better food.
It does.
I will say though, The balloon tying situation was hell. Dude, I had like blisters and cuts on my fingers, like from tying those balloons. It was bad. And like we set it up after like 2 hours of doing this, and we're all chilling around the fire, feeling all stoked. And then we just hear pop, 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 pop. And the whole thing just like the tents blew back, launched the balloons into a thorn bush, like tree,
Oh my
gnarled
God.
vine
Yeah.
shit, and just exploded them. We're just like, oh my God, dude, what the hell?
I heard the story. Yeah, we broke a pop-up tent during that too. That's crazy because it wasn't even that windy. So that's a good note. You always got to tie down those things,
Yeah,
even if it's
for
not
sure.
windy.
It was a
But glad
comical
no
moment.
one got hurt. And yeah, the balloons still look rad.
Yeah, I think it looked better. The
Yeah.
arch thing was kind of whack, but the
Yeah,
awning balloon system was cool.
I know. Yeah, that would have been rad. Would have been nice. But that was the other thing. All the volunteers again were just spot on, and that made my life super easy. So shout out to all the volunteers and all my friends too. Like I have buddies that live in Delaware. Shout out to Reg. He brought the generator, powered the music all weekend, got us all the hay. Just little things like that that you need a community to do an event like that. And literally, it's like when I was doing the volunteer sheet and everyone who helped it was like 40 people. It's pretty crazy how many people do help out with this. Lot of little pieces coming together. But again, it was our 10th one, so we were all veterans by then.
Yeah, it seemed like a really like I don't know what the phrase is, clean ship or
Tight ship.
tight ship. There we go. Yeah, everyone was just like, it seemed like every volunteer was just relaxed, and I was like, wow, this is unusual. Usually volunteers are like tripping out, trying to
Right,
figure out what
yeah.
to do.
And luckily we didn't have any crazy like people at the park that didn't know about the event giving us a hard time because sometimes it's a vibe killer. But yeah, it's nice that I mean it's a small hill too, so it's pretty easy. But yeah, just try to give off a good vibe, keep everyone happy.
Cool. So
Learn that along the way.
after Skate the Cape this time around, usually after I throw events, I'm like, oh yeah, I can't wait for the next one. Sick. Like, what are your thoughts and how do you feel about that whole? What's that vibe like for you?
Yeah, again, I appreciate everyone who talked to me about that and how much the event means to them, and that they were there that weekend. It's great to see them and talk to them. Basically, there's not going to be another Skate the Cape like that again. So that was super special. There'll never be anything like that again. But that community, the Skate the Cape community, is something really special. It took a long time to build, and it seems like everyone's down to do like more of just a hangout, which I would be down to rent out that campground where everyone stayed at, do the music, and basically have it be a music festival, like a low attendance music festival, like the Skate the Cape. Basically, I'm gonna call it Skate the Cape 2028, the reunion. And it's going to be a music festival which has roots in skateboarding, and we'll probably still do skateboard outlaw events. Like we can do a chill cruise around the whole bike loop, which we used to run the enduro race on, and we can like mark it and then be like, okay, who wants to race? Let's throw in $5, kind of thing, and do more stuff like that. There's also a really fun downhill spot with like rolling dunes that we never got to utilize. That would be really fun to do like an outlaw race on. So again, it's like we'll all just come together, but there won't be an official skate event. I'm thinking like maybe I'll get a mini ramp and put it in the
Ooh, that'd be cool.
campground, to kind of keep the skate vibes. And but that parking lot, unless they like repave that parking lot, we can't really do much with it. But again, I might be able to get a different date as well if we don't do the skate events officially. So maybe we could go there, more towards the summer, warmer months. We were lucky; we had the best weather out of any Skate the Cape, and it made a huge
Amen to
difference with attendance and just the ease of everything. So imagine if it was even warmer and we're all out there in our bathing suits and we're like ready to get in the water all the time, and would have more time to hang out. So yeah, I'm taking a break, and we'll see where we're at in 2 to 3 years, and brings like again, I love that community. I love seeing them. It's like a big reunion. So I think everyone's down to
Question,
do
Rob.
it, so we'll see.
Would you be down to have this reunion in, say, September when the water's still warm?
That'd be awesome, and there's a good chance for waves too.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like after the summer, like probably after the holiday, whatever it is, we probably have a good shot.
Exactly. Less tourists, man.
hmm So yeah, it's just a cool thing that I built. I hate to just let it go, And so yeah, want to do something with it, and I think it'd be really fun to do more of a music festival and maybe bring some bigger bands in and amp up that side of the event. We'll see.
Well, with the campground, we definitely have the space to hold a lot more people. Matter of fact, I didn't even know this until literally the last day right before about to leave. Dude, that there's a whole nother section that is just as big as the normal section that everyone else usually, camps around. And on the opposite side of the campsite, there's a whole nother section that's right
Right.
next to the sand dune. I didn't even know
We've
that.
never
All these
done-
years,
I know, it's so
not
funny.
one time. All these years I've been at Skate the Cape, I never went to that section to realize there's a whole nother section to host easily over 100 people. It's like, what the hell? This has been here the whole time? So
I have a
we have-
recommendation.
I think
go ahead.
even if you made Skate the Cape exclusively a music festival, you can still have a good amount of people there comfortably and still have a good time.
Okay, so my recommendation, I've got two. First, connect those two campsites with like a rope and like a lever that you can send over like buckets to like transfer things, maybe beer, like trade, And then
Right.
second, yeah, like how they have like buckets that you like put on like a thing and it goes up and down to like deliver shit.
Okay. Keep
But
going.
have it go like horizontally from campsite to campsite, so you could just like ring a bell. People put stuff in the bucket. You like bring it over to you, and there's like beers and joints or whatever in there, and then you send some stuff back. It'd be like a mystery package.
If both campsites were like disconnected by a river or something, that sounds very practical and fun, but I like
For no
I don't
reason
get
at
it, man.
For no
I
reason
just
at all.
don't get it.
Okay, second recommendation. You know how you can walk
Okay.
up to that like dune up above the parking lot?
Yeah.
Zip line.
Ooh, that sounds fun.
Like you get up there and you're just like, all right, there's only one way down this bitch. Zip line down to the stage.
Well,
You can make it happen.
why make it so short? Why not make it longer, all the way to the complete opposite side of the freaking
Just kick
all
people in
across
the
the
head.
campsite? How cool would that be?
You'd probably be kicking people in the face as you go across the field. Heads up! What?
No, man. People just got to duck. That's all. They'll be fine.
Duck. Where?
Well, yeah, thank you for that feedback. I'll put that in my notes.
Zip line. That's actually a good
Zip line.
idea. I kind of like that. Now it's just a matter of the legal issues and liability and insurance we got to
Yeah,
worry
yeah.
about.
Well,
Yeah.
But
that-
other than that sounds like an amazing idea.
It has to be like a clip-in zip line. It has to be like legit. I'm sure there's like a zip line company in Delaware.
all right, I'm gonna put that task on you, Kurt. You're on it.
I'm on it.
You got 3 years.
Okay.
All right, so back to skating.
All right.
Yeah.
While we were at Skate the Cape, Rob, while you were busy herding cats, me and Jarrid hit the course, and actually we hit the campsite with our little impromptu video set up and
Oh,
interviewed
fun.
some people. So before we get into that, I just want to say, like, what were some of your guys' like highlights of the slide jam? Like, what stood out to you? What do you remember? Like, any good runs you guys had? Like, anything you saw? Like, the things that just like stood out that you remember?
I'll say Izzy. Izzy and Noah. Noah won the AM, And
Oh
he
yeah,
came to
Noah.
Bethlehem Slide Jam, which was an event I did back in like 2016. A fresh ground back then. To see him many years later, see his progression, and yeah, that was cool to see him win and to see him skate really well, really smooth throughout the whole thing. Crushed his final runs, and then yeah, Izzy, he was a fresh face for the pros. Really liked his variety, and but yeah, Timmy B, he had the best final run I've ever seen him do. That was really cool. Good job, Timmy B.
Yeah, it was cool to see
Good
that for
job,
sure.
Jimmy D. And Izzy.
For me, Max Alessandri like blew my mind. Like every time he came by, I just like couldn't help but look. It was so clean. Like you know how some street skaters when they land stuff, they just have like the stees where they like drop their head, their arms are just loose.
Yeah,
Like
that's Max.
Yeah,
yeah,
he's
just
really freaking good.
it's rare to see that in like a longboard slide jam kind of vibe. And yeah, also what's his name? Soul Surfer.
Yes,
He was like charging on that
Who?
dance board.
Soul Surfer.
Soul Surfer from
Hey.
DC.
Oh, Tay. Yeah. Yeah, no, Tay was definitely bringing something else to the table for sure. That was
Yeah,
very
He's been,
interesting to
like,
watch.
cross-stepping down the hill and hitting the ramp with that big board. That was cool.
Yeah, he was hitting everything, like no fear, just like I'm gonna do what they're doing. And I couldn't even tell if he knew how to do that shit, but he made it work.
Yeah, seriously. Seeing him and Daniel Lindsay too, he impressed me because he did everything pretty much on that big ass board all weekend, even
Yeah.
the border cross, which is really impressive. I'd also want to, yeah, of course, Max and Jesse Fabrizio always blow my mind. Both super smooth. I guess just because I've seen them a couple of times, it's like, oh yeah, they're really freaking good.
Dude, and seeing Daniel Myers skate in person too is wild. Like breaking down his tricks in person, I was just like, how the fuck?
He was a little rusty, I'd say. He was not landing as much as he used to. I don't think he's been on his board much, but
No, lately he's been spending a lot more time with that Chinese wooden ball in a cup thing. It's his new passion in life, and I totally support him. He's still a part of Dolphin Team, still skating, still going to events. He's just lately he's been shifting shifting his energy towards I honestly can't remember what it's called. I think it's a Japanese toy. I know I'm gonna get flack for this in the comments later, but
Phone a friend.
throw me a bone here, guys. Like I know it's very popular in the longboard community.
I like the Chinese ball and stick thing.
It's
Ball
called
in
the
a cup.
Gamaken.
It's called ball in a cup. I don't know.
It's called the Kendama.
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 He should have did a run doing that down.
Yeah.
Dude, there are people. There are videos of people like they would do a slide and then like mid slide they would like flip the ball and land it in the cup and be like, oh,
Wow.
like that's kind of a trend thing going on. And
Yeah.
It is rad. And Danny Boy was a volunteer. Him and his girl.
yep,
And she even DJ'd for us. That was rad.
Yeah, dude.
that was
She
pretty
killed
cool.
it.
Yeah,
She killed it on the DJ set. Also, DJ Wooby blew my fucking mind, dude.
Yeah,
Oh
he
my
kind of stole
God.
the show Friday night. That was rad to see
Dude, Yeah.
how well he did.
I haven't heard like good dubstep sets like that for a hot minute.
that's
was
another
super
beauty. That's another beauty about Skate the Cape, man. We don't get garage band rock bands. No, we get like music festival level
Hell yeah.
bands, and that's what makes it even better.
Yeah, I think that's kind of been the transition the past 3 Skate the Capes, I'd say. I've been putting a little bit more focus into the music side of it, kind of like knowing this was the end game.
Well, it definitely showed, my friend. It was definitely quite a performance.
What's the biggest sand dune in Cape Henlopen?
There's some
Oh,
really
God.
big ones on the beach. There was one year I remember when we were staying at the other campground before we had the big one. We all marched drunkenly through the night to the sand dunes and rolled down them, and they were huge. Like people, it must have been 200. Like it was like a whole football field, and it's steep. super steep. People were rolling down it, getting pretty wild.
Dude.
It's like if you go to the beach and just walk the beach, like to the right or to the left, you should be able to find them. I think if you went to Herring Point and walked right, you'd find it.
So we could potentially have a sandboarding portion.
Exactly. Yeah, with a zip line down to the water, and then the messaging bucket system back to the campground.
Yeah, dude. Bucket me up to the
Pretty
top.
rad.
Put my ass in that bucket and rope me back to the top of the hill.
That's a good idea.
All right, well, let's get into this. Actually, Jarrid, what about you? What was your kind of takeaways from the slide
Jam
jam?
highlights.
Slide jam highlights. Definitely seeing some new talent show up. That was pretty neat because, coming to this event since 2014, throughout the years, the talent seems to be consistent, which is cool, which is nice to see, good friends come back. But, after 10 years, you're like, man, I just want to see some new talent show up. Like, want to see something new, something fresh, something a little bit, unconventional. And then sure enough, Jesse showed up in 2023, and then this year Izzy showed up. It's like, all right, some new talent, some fresh meat. Let's see what they got. And Jesse was throwing down heavy as usual because he's got a big bag of tricks. And then Izzy from North Carolina, he definitely ripped a few pages off of the playbooks of other skaters and made it his own, which I think is great. That's how you should do it. And his hard work and talent definitely showed at the event, and I thought that was great. And I was just happy to be there and announcing and judging it. And to be honest, I was happy, like not competing for the first time ever. It felt so nice. It's like, finally, I could just sit back, chill, and just watch the fireworks, watch the talent. I don't have to worry about my lines. I don't have to worry about the practice, training, stretching, dieting, make sure I don't do this, make sure I do that. And yeah, no, it's a totally different experience and perspective when compared to competing and just watching or judging or commentating. So I'm not gonna lie, I definitely enjoyed myself at the slide jam this year. It was really cool to watch.
It was really fun to judge it with you, Jarrid, and just hang with you instead of having you out there. So thanks for helping out.
Absolutely,
Yep.
man. I'm happy to help, bud.
Yeah, you got a bright future in on-site commentary. You were killing it.
Yeah, that was fun.
So what? I should just be a commentator for extreme sports?
Dance competition.
No, that's not a.
The next striker.
Yeah,
I remember
but
when
what-
I crashed into the hay bales, you were like, "Oh, we've got a major crash." I was just like,
What if?
What?
Dude, that'd be a wild career. Be a commentator for extreme sports events.
"Hell yeah, bro."
Yo,
Sister does it.
but how would you even begin to go about that? Like, it's not like there's a talent agency for commentators. Wait, is there? Or is that
I
be
don't know.
voice actors?
Liam did it at a WDSC event in Turkey. He got flown out for that shit. So there's definitely available opportunities.
Wow.
Should I just start contacting all of the longboard organizations around the world and just say, hey, I'm a really good commentator, a judge. I got charisma. I don't know. Like, I've never even thought of that. Like,
I would hit up people who have like big operations kind of already going. Like, so you think you can longboard dance would be one, maybe like Mount Tabor Downhill Challenge you could do. Shit, I don't know, Giants Head at Party Corner, like WDSC races.
There you go. You've already started, man. And just
Boom.
take what you've done with your skate sponsors and just apply it to this.
Mm-hmm.
right, but but for this, I don't have a mentor to guide me on how to properly go about this. I mean, in the longboard industry, I had plenty of mentors who guided me through the journey to help me figure out how to do things. And this, I don't know anybody.
We'll have a talk with we'll have a talk with Stryker at Danger Bay about it. He's been doing it.
Oh gosh, that's right. I
Yeah,
hope
he got
Striker
thrown
will be there.
around.
I haven't seen that guy since 2017. Shit. Oh man, it's been a minute.
We're gonna make it happen for you, bud.
All right. Oh man, that's another thing. I got to reach out to Lanya and see if I can catch a ride. Because if I can't catch a ride, no, seriously, like, because I could probably just hop in the Lanyard's van. But John Huey also hit me up saying, hey, if you don't have a ride, fly out to Portland. We'll put you up. We can ride together. Which sounds like a really fun adventure. But if I have to choose flying into Portland and then drive like 6 hours to get to Canada for the event as compared to flying into Vancouver and only have to drive like 2 or 3 hours to get to Danger Bay. I don't know. It's like I feel like there's multiple components there.
My plan is to fly into Vancouver and figure it out from there. Worst case scenario, I could just get a ride to the ferry, and then from the ferry, get a ride to the campsite.
Wait, so which town or city is Danger Bay in specifically?
Pender Harbor.
Pender Harbor?
Pender Harbor.
Pender Harbor. Okay, is that an island?
No, it's like I think it's on the other side of, like, I don't know. There's some sort of like weird, like, mountain range in between Vancouver and Pender Harbor, and the boat goes around it. I'm pretty sure.
Okay, but it's not far from Vancouver, correct?
No.
Oh, okay. Dang, maybe I should fly into Vancouver. All right.
Yeah, man.
Okay.
Let's link
Cool.
up once you're there, and we'll figure it out together. I think I've got a situation that sounds promising, and I'm sure we could get you on there if all else fails.
Okay. All right. So far I got three plans. Either ride with Kurt, ride with John Huey, or ride with Lanyards. All right. I like these options. I'm liking this. Either way, I'm still gonna have a good time no matter what I choose.
All right, let's teleport back in time here.
Yeah.
This is the first time you'll see this, so let's see what happens.
Yeah, let's see it.
Here we go. Skate the Cape 10 virtual Slide Jam podcast special episode showcasing behind the scenes of what goes on at this amazing event and what makes it so special. So, Daniel Meyer, the man who competed in the Slide Jam today and the game of skate. How are you feeling after today's event?
I feel, pretty all right. I feel pleased with my performance. Coming off of a very long hiatus, longer than I've ever taken at least, and great competition, all around good vibes. First competition I ever won was here at Skate the Cape, and so it's nice coming back every time and playing. Hold on, don't walk away. I need to talk to you. So speaking of people who are winning things at Skate the Cape, this guy shows up to the last.
That's
one.
a great point.
Absolutely,
The winner of this year's Slide Jam
just takes the entire win away from all of us. He smoked us, dude. This guy killed it.
I'd like to truly apologize. I don't know what got over me. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So, Izzy, you were saying, well, first introduce yourself. Where are you from?
I'm from Charlotte, North Carolina.
This way. Go that
What's
way.
your name?
Oh, I'm Izzy.
Yeah, that's Izzy Boyd, by the way.
It's okay. You're not
I'm tired.
It's okay. No, we're good. We can edit all of this in post. It's okay. You're doing great.
Charlotte, North
Not
My
going
name
to.
is Izzy Boyd.
We did
I'm
not.
from Charlotte, North Carolina.
And what happened today?
What are your credentials?
My credential.
Oh my God.
Well, I'm Shimano Tech certified. That's about it.
You were saying earlier about like this was like one of your first time doing something. What was that? Like your first Slide Jam or first time at Skate the Cape?
Like first like open Slide Jam I've ever won. I got first at like a small Slide Jam we did in Charlotte, like in the Grom category, but it's my first time ever like actually winning like an actual like big Slide Jam, so I'm like super duper stoked on that.
Yeah, and you won the pro category.
Yeah. I promise I wasn't sandbagging. I just didn't know what the orange tape was for.
They tried to put him in amateurs. Tell us about what your experience with the hill was. Like, how were your runs? Like, how did you plan your runs out? Was it all kind of just flow, or what was going on there?
The hill was very interesting. It's not as steep as what I'm used to. Most Slide Jam hills I skate are usually either like steeper hills in Charlotte, Kingswood being an exception to that. But
Kingswood.
road's kind of flat and the pavement's really interesting. There's some really rough, slippery sections and some really like fresh, grippy sections. One of the homies on the hill was actually like talking about it's because the road doesn't get sun in some spots, which is really interesting.
Yeah, that's the Guzman brothers were saying.
Yeah. But it was definitely kind of challenging. I kind of almost had to pick where I wanted to slide and what I wanted to do where. There were a couple times where I was battling like a trick I really wanted to get that I wasn't super good at. And kind of towards the end, I was like, I just got to do what I can do. And just try to be like consistent about what I'm landing, and I think it paid off, which is pretty sick.
Yeah, I think they're pretty much seeing you the whole time. You were like nailing all your runs. So consistency worked today.
Absolutely. Definitely paid off today, man.
In the judging today, everyone who stayed on their board and was consistent. Timmy B, even that dude was just piping out trick after trick.
Dude, Timmy B was putting it
And he
down.
landed himself on the Skate the Cape Open podium. You know, he
Oh yeah,
flipped it.
he did that nose blunt check to a shove it, man. That was pretty
Yeah,
rad.
he was very quickly too.
Yes.
You know, there are some rippers like Max Alessandre didn't even like touch podium, and he was hitting some big tricks. But you know, it's the consistency that was, you know, what mattered today. And so, you know, you love to see that. You like to see the differences in judging style between different events. You know, you start striving to do more and just other things better. You know.
So what was probably like the trick of the day that you saw?
Dude,
Your favorite trick
I
today you
don't know
saw?
about one big trick that I liked, but Max Alessandre and Jesse just like back to back, like also just like multiple times throwing the early grab back threes off the kickers, dude, was just so
No complies were pretty on point today, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, I love a good no comply, but I don't hit ramps that much, and so seeing my friends, you know, pipe out fucking big air tricks is just so sick. And you know, Max is always just a pleasure to watch skate because he doesn't come out very often, and it's awesome.
He was blowing my mind, that's for sure. He had some really good style and tricks.
Sleeper.
Izzy, how about you?
I don't know. I feel kind of weird. I didn't hit a ramp at all today. Don't really go to events that have ramps, so I don't have any experience with them.
Yeah, that's a thing of the past. It doesn't happen too much these days.
Which honestly kind of frustrates me that like,
not wrong.
coming here, the ramps are fucking big, and I'm like, don't know what to do on them. I'm scared to throw myself in the air that high. Guess I got to practice more.
What was like the trick of the day for you?
Trick of the day for me, damn, hard to pick. There was so much like good shit being thrown today. Like Jesse going down with this, like Jesse and his spinnies is crazy. Just hucking like the back threes off the ramp. Like just everybody. I wish I remember his name. The kid on the street deck who's just going like,
Oh yeah,
way too high on the kickers. Like
Clifford or Clinton or something?
Killian, that Rom going getting mad area, that was Killian.
He was getting boosty.
that was insane shit. Like I was watching that like, holy fuck. How
And
do
he
you
landed
go
it,
that
too.
high? Yeah.
A lot of practice, I guess, man. The people have kind of the resources and access to that type of
He's
equipment.
a street skater.
For goodness sakes, a
He's a
12-year-old
100%
landed the
street skater.
900 a 12-year-old,
Yeah.
because he had access to a mega ramp, so he could do it. So when you give people access, resources like that, you can accomplish great things, which is what makes you a great slider, because you
I'll turn it up
have
while you're eating
access
those,
to
Jayla.
amazing hills.
It's very.
So you're bound to be a great
I think
slider.
he was like
I
not
think
even
it's
a
very
beer deep.
interesting about like where
Wow.
you learn how to skate,
Yeah,
how
he's
it
like, we need to
defines
do this
where
now.
you are.
He's
Like,
like,
from
yeah, he's like
Charlotte,
wide
we
awake
have,
and
like, our
fresh.
hills are steep-ish and short, so I can go fast into a big slide.
Yeah.
And I can throw 360s and tech tricks, but then going up to the mountains, that big open speed is something I'm not super good at. You see, like, it's really cool, especially at an event like Skate the Cape, where like people are from all kinds of areas.
Oh, Timmy V
all
was
kinds
telling
of
me to
skating.
sign up for
Just seeing their
karaoke in that
different
moment.
approaches to how they do stuff. Like Soul Surfer, he really I've never met him, never heard of him until today, and he blew me away. Like that, he can just be so variated, and he'll take his dancer board up on the ramp, do a little rock to fakie, and then go down the hill and do some slides. He put it down.
Yeah, he was skating the hill his own way and doing it real.
Yeah.
Right on,
Super
Mel.
sick.
All right, man. Dude, thank you for the interview. You
Appreciate
definitely killed it today.
What'd you guys think of the slide jam today? Any moments that shined?
There's Boozer,
Sandry. Love
Earl.
that guy. He kills it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of photographers right there.
He dominates. So yeah.
I've never seen him
Photography
skate
corner.
before. He had some very, very good tech tricks. That was
Yeah, right.
insane.
And he was riding his pro model. That was actually his pro model when he was with
Blue Sky.
yeah, Blue Sky. Very good. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Matt, what about you?
It was rad.
What do you think about the trick selection going down today?
The coolest trick I saw was when they did the flippy thing and then landed on it and cross stepped out of it.
Oh.
It was during the dance, but that was
Okay.
a little different. But
Yeah.
that was by far probably one of the coolest ones.
Boozer's just happy to be there.
Yeah.
Toe sides.
We're
I saw
happy
some
he's
people
there.
beef it. That sucks.
Took some great
Yellow shirt
photos.
Kid.
Absolutely.
You did good though. You did good. You rolled out of it, but beefed it. What else happened today?
The longest slide.
Longest slide, yeah. Longest slide. Toe sides were good. Heel sides were good. We were going fast. We were having a good time.
I feel like right away out of the box, some of the longest slides were done. Like within like the first or second try, it was like already like so far away because all the hard wheels and
They were waiting for that
So-
moment. They were,
Yeah, a lot of hard wheels though.
yeah,
Some of them were a little too hard, almost skatey, like skateboard.
right. Yeah, like the Guzman brothers had some like hard cubes on.
Yeah, no. And then one of them sounded like a lawnmower.
Yep.
Yeah,
I was like, hey, I spotted
I
that.
spotted that quick. Well, right on, guys. How about you? Did you watch the event today?
Oh yeah, it was there the whole day. It was the first time.
Right, you were shooting photos, right?
Yeah,
Cool. What'd you think?
it was a lot of fun. For never coming. I'm sad to hear it's the last one.
Yeah,
That's my buddy
first one
Josh
too,
from
so last
Hit
one
Me
as well.
Jersey.
But
He hit
which
me up.
skater was your favorite today? that you saw?
Yeah,
Nice.
Probably for
he's a
Bruce, yeah.
photographer now. I was like, hell yeah.
He was. It's just
Finally got to see him. I haven't
the
seen him
dance
in like
stuff was
8
super
years.
cool, but I like the style going on.
It was cool.
That sound weird, but I can watch Renee all
He
day.
got some great
You know?
photos. I just posted
Think
those
that's
up
what you
today. He really got
Good skater.
Yeah, you had some
the
cool
hippie
moves.
jump
Yeah.
really,
Some
really
unique-
well.
Some really unique stuff happening in the
Oh,
dance
yeah.
competition. I was really stoked on.
Yeah, exactly.
The game of skate was cool. It was just like a whole day, skating all day.
Right.
So much fun.
All right, before we get into this next part,
All right, what's up?
let's
Great
talk
interview,
about.
by the way. Great job, guys.
Thank you. I just wanted to kind of touch on the topics of that, like Izzy was talking about. Like he doesn't know how to skate ramps because it's not in his environment. And people of the past, every slide gym they went to had ramps, so they'd progress by skating slide jams with ramps. Nowadays, you kind of have people saying things like, "Oh, the scene's dead. Like events aren't the same. Like we just want to do free rides in the mountains." Like I guess it's kind of taking the direction of progression away from the wow factor of seeing like people go off ramps and stuff. So how do we kind of get back to that? Like, do we just bring ramps to hills? Do we only host like our ramps the key? Like, do we need to add something new to hills to kind of boost the wow factor and change the style of progression? Because it seems like progression is kind of going the way where the hills are going, which is Tepe Tacos, Maryhill Freeride, races, all downhill oriented, hard to watch.
Okay. I would say bring back border cross, but it's not exactly the most cost efficient category of longboarding. Because border cross is a lot more, it's a lot of fun for both the rider and the spectators. But when it comes to, costs and expenses, it can get a little pricey as far as the materials, the setup, volunteers, and yada, yada. But that's just my opinion. I would love to see more border cross because Skate the Cape, it was so cool to watch you guys do the border cross. It's very exciting, especially for those who've never even seen border cross. They're like, what's that? I'm like, oh, you're in for a treat, man. This is fun for everybody. Fun for the spectators, fun for the riders. Everyone has a good time because it's challenging. It's slightly dangerous. It's entertaining to watch. And yeah, I think there should be more of that. But like I said, it's not very cheap to host a border cross event, especially on a scale like Cathlamet.
They're tricky too to set up. I've set up ones where we tried to do head-to-head racing, and it's super dangerous. You need a lot of space and big ramps and duplicates of those ramps to keep it even if you're trying to do head-to-head. The time trial is a great way to get around that, though. which it is super fun. And when I was growing up, ramps were on the hills, and it just seemed like the natural progression of where the sport was going. And I'm bummed that it's not there, because I think it would have really set us apart in skateboarding if we were hitting these fat ass slides going at high speeds, then controlling that speed and hitting a big ramp and doing a trick off the ramp. Like, you can't deny that's really fucking hard and really fucking cool. And I'm really sad to see that go. Now I've broken a few bones because of skateboarding off ramps on hills. I can say that, which has really sucked. But it's really fun. I love getting air still. So I wish it would come back. And I don't know what the rest of, like, people just like Izzy, you don't want to do it. It's scary. You don't get hurt. It's totally like getting in the air is so different than like sliding too. So if you can put those together, it just adds this whole other element that I thought was really cool.
As a fellow tall person, I can say that like being in the air on your skateboard and being tall is kind of scary, because like you're extra high up there. You're like, oh shit. Like, I was
what would be good practice? You know what would be good practice for you, Kurt? Snowboarding, and practice either surfing, skimboarding, or even bodyboarding, launching yourself off of waves at the shore.
And
so
actually,
you get accustomed to the air time.
And I was really dedicated to progressing on ramps that I made a like 3 or 4 part how to hit a ramp on your longboard. Go to Facebook Board Riders on YouTube.
Didn't you also make a terrain park in your backyard?
Yeah, I had a ramp where when I lived with Brian Fitch, we were getting really into hitting ramps, and we set it up at the end of our driveway. And it was literally like it was our foam pit, but we were just landing on plywood, and we had like some hay bales, and we set up like a little hip landing, and definitely did a lot of progression there, because you could like land and like fall into the grass rather than like on the road. So that was cool.
Yeah, I remember that you had when you were hosting the Bethlehem Slide Jam. I remember crashing at your place, and you had the little plies of wood laid out. And I'm not gonna lie, I took advantage of it. It actually did help me progress in like my spin air tricks and just get more dialed in with how to do it, how to land it. So yeah, no, you're not wrong. It was definitely a very helpful learning tool.
It's like easy style. And before that, you're just doing early grabs, then do an early grab off of a curb, and then go to a skate park.
Yeah, dude.
We definitely have those around.
Yeah.
I mean, also like you can turn a boring hill in a city where you have the potential for spectators into a sick course with border cross. Like, I mean,
really good.
Perfect example, downhill disco in Cathlamet. Like, those hills were nothing special, but put some ramps there, and all of a sudden it's like you're in a whole nother spot. And I think that's what kind of did make longboarding look so appealing and appetizing, was like just the creativity that people had. Like, not every single
take.
Exactly. Like, not every clip was just like, oh, he might do a squatter or he might do a big toe side. It's like, nah, dude, he's got to hit that ramp or go off that ramp or like hit the sidewalk. Like, the variety, I think, is the key.
And with Skate the Cape, our hill isn't the biggest, so that's kind of why we added the ramps too, to kind of help boost it up.
Some old day spice right there.
That's right.
Jarrid has a thought.
You gave me an idea.
Uh-oh.
So border cross, super fun, super entertaining, very enjoyable, but it is not very cost efficient. It's very expensive. But what if? Hear me out. This is one of my brainstorms here.
Big brain.
What if you were able to contact a local contractor or a construction company that would be willing to sponsor the event, and their version of sponsoring the event would be to build the ramps. And if they build the ramps for the event, that would be their contribution to the sponsorship of the event. And to seal the deal or to sweeten the deal, we can even add their company logos to the ramps so they can get the promotion they want. I feel like that might be the way to go about it. What do you guys think?
I
Makes
love
me
it.
think to hit up a
Make it
local
happen.
contractor. I know a
Well,
guy.
here's the thing, man. Out here, majority of the trade jobs out here, people who are like carpenters, plumbers, pipe fitters, welders, blah blah blah. Majority of them are like former surfers and skaters. So I feel like that may or may not be a thing. Hell, maybe even for you, Rob. Like, I'm sure if you were to reach out to the owner of some carpenter or contractor company, I'm sure the boss or CEO or even the manager would be like, yeah, I used to snowboard. Yeah, I used to surf. Yeah, I used to skate. And I feel like that might be a nice little, a very easy tangency of business. You know what I mean?
I can see that. Yeah. The idea, man. Hope you're writing these down.
Oh, yeah, no, I'm writing them down.
Another good
Right.
one would be like to kind of steadily ease like street skaters or park skaters into downhill is like have a border cross series where like it starts in the park and then goes to the streets and then goes to a hill and then naturally progresses to bigger hills, and then by the end it's like everyone has to figure out how to slide in order to make it down the hill and hit the ramps.
Nice.
And then you have like a slope style with it, and everyone who's like dialed can like whip out their tricks and do some cool stuff. We're out here thinking of stuff.
So we want more ramps. That's what we're saying.
We want more ramps, but we don't want it to cost us an arm and a leg.
Yeah, and some pickles so you don't break your bones.
Yep.
And unfortunately, I couldn't find the pickle board.
Oh,
I don't know where it is because it's not in my car. It's not under the desk, or I probably didn't look good enough. But yeah, no, I shit you not. It was like a 40. It was like 40 something long board where it was a wrap, but it was a vinyl wrap, but it still had the graphic of the official Mount Olive pickles on the board, and it had ABAC 11 zigzags on it too.
It was a complete damn.
Yeah, it was complete. It had Paris trucks and
What?
ABAC 11 zigzags, green, old school green.
That's hilarious if they had that.
Right?
yeah,
Yeah,
you want to
no,
go set up like a cruiser board like that right now. Pickle
no,
board.
it was a pretty good cruise board. Not gonna lie.
All right, let's get back to the action at Skate the Cape. Here we go.
Let's do it. Oh gosh.
Later that day.
Oh.
Like I'm joining in a cult. I was nervous as my can always journalists were written on my written so in all the verses are purchased. Damn. Okay, actress. Family! With a pocket full of shells! They ride around the family!
This was an epic moment.
Yeah, that was pretty epic.
Shells! They ride around the family! With a pocket full of shells!
Okay.
It's so much passion.
Congratulations
performance.
on your first place win in the amateur slide jam at Skate the Cape. How are you feeling?
Dude, I'm feeling stoked. This is my first time ever actually up on podium, so I felt like it was just like coming in time, and I'm super happy to be able to do it here at Skate the Cape.
Well, that's awesome.
Nice
man.
beard.
You definitely delivered. You
Yeah,
were very
excellent
consistent.
beard.
You landed all your tricks very, very smoothly. And as one of the judges, I was blown away. You did an excellent job. And yeah, dude, you did an amazing job.
Dude,
man.
thanks, Jarrid. That was fucking dank to hear from you, bro. I've been watching your videos growing up, being like, I want to skate more like that. Yeah, dude, when I was a Grom, yeah, you were the shit back in the day when you got sponsored by Moonshine. That like blew my mind. So hearing that, you be able to say that's really fucking dope, dude.
Dude, you fucking earned it, bro.
Thank you, Jarrid.
What were some of the tricks of the day that you saw that were like just like that really stood out to you that other people were doing?
Dude, I saw a lot of no comply 180s and just like different 180 variation slides that I thought were being landed a lot throughout the competition course. A lot of people are doing the seamless threes, but the 180 variations were really, really neat and clean. So I wanted to incorporate that more into my style too.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
So you were like inspired by the people you were skating with during
Captain
the
Morgan
event.
style
Oh
right
yeah,
there,
absolutely.
Kurt.
In fact, Jesse Fabrizio is one of my favorite. That's why I got the
Yeah.
race sports pin.
Where's the bottle at?
Being able to
Full
compete
confidence.
and skate with him today has been.
Oh, it was probably on the
really
campsite. You just couldn't find
Dude,
it.
that's awesome. Yeah, it's so cool that everyone's here and like gets to skate like the hill together.
There was something going around. I don't know what it
Who
was.
The rider who you were most stoked on getting to see skate.
Oh, dude,
There it
Jesse
is.
Fabrizio. Like, I can't say it enough.
On the
man.
bench
I even
over
had
there.
him sign my board.
Heck yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, cool, man. Thanks for being a part of this. Good job.
Thank you, brother.
Keep
Appreciate
crushing
it.
it.
Crikey, it looks like we've stumbled across a Jesse Fabrizio that's fallen asleep. We're going to take a closer look. It's very, very dangerous that you don't look Jesse in the eye when he's woken, because the quicker
Stalking Jesse.
likely you are to get your arm bit off. So, we're going to enter nice and slow and make sure we avoid eye contact. Here we go. No, you don't.
So here we are with legendary slider, renowned world enthusiast and athlete, Jesse Fabrizio, the Italian stallion. We're laying in bed, we're snuggling. So Jesse, how do you think it went down today?
It went pretty good. My tricks were consistent. Took me a little while to warm up.
We interrupt his nap for this interview.
I'm happy with what I did, and not feeling like I regret what I didn't get. So you get what you get.
You get what you get, man.
Yeah.
And the point is, we're all having a good time.
Damn
and yeah.
It was definitely sick to see you like pushing it through the day and like warming up your difficulty of tricks. It seemed like you got that like to the point of where you wanted to be in terms of like consistency and difficulty pretty quick.
Yeah, thank you. I definitely took my time like getting my shove-its down, feeling out my 360s, getting them faster, trying 3 shoves, trying big spins more, so that, when it came time to a real run, like a contest run, or just during the contest itself, that I was like going to be consistent for whatever I wanted to do.
Right on, man.
Yeah, and you also got a longest toe side slide, stand up toe.
Oh yeah, that was a lock for you.
Yeah.
That was a lock, dude.
Yeah.
So
what wheels were you riding?
Dragon 64 millimeter.
Of course.
Yeah, they're ice, absolute ice. It is definitely an acquired taste. Not a lot of people can skate wheels like that on a big board.
But you can, Jesse Fabrizio.
Yes, sir.
The Italian stallion himself. All right, we're going to move on to our next interview, so let this guy sleep so he can party with us later tonight.
Woo!
All right, man. You enjoy your nap?
What's your name?
Oh, I'm already on it. Hi, I'm Camilla.
Camilla, is this your first time at Skate the Cape?
You caught her by surprise,
What do you
dude.
think today?
I don't know. There's all the feelings, It was great. It was a great time.
Cool.
Saw many different styles.
She was kind of off
different
guard,
ways
dude.
of approaching skating.
You handled it.
It was hot, it was cold.
Good recovery.
The motion,
Like, what?
temperature,
Interview? What are you
everything.
talking
It
about?
was hot.
Yeah, it seemed like everyone was really stoked.
Yeah.
Which is good. It's never good to see people upset at a skate event, which is pretty rare.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard when everyone's laughing and dancing on and off the board.
Yeah. What were some of your favorite like moments like and tricks you saw and favorite riders today at the Slide Jam?
I don't think I have a favorite. Everyone was just so different.
Mm-hmm.
I really enjoyed the dance, partially because I'm a dancer.
That was cool.
That was fun. It was also fun to see. What was the second one after the kids? What was the second?
That was a Slide Jam.
Slide Jam. I really liked that one as well.
Cool. Who shined?
Who took off his shirt in the beginning?
Jesse.
And then
Of course, Jesse.
Was it Oliver went after him?
Yeah.
I loved
Titanic.
it too. 'Cause I
Magic
thought it was
Mike.
so funny to have them back to back.
That was perfect.
Mhm.
It was kind of funny to watch. And very entertaining.
Yeah.
And then how about for the Slide Jam? What was some of your favorite moments from that?
Butt sliding.
The butt slide?
Butt sliding memorable.
Longest
Mark.
Longest hand down slide tech right there.
I think I saw someone slide and do a push up.
Okay.
And I don't know, just everyone's so different. But that's all it is. I just love watching the variety.
Yeah, it's like art. It's like an art museum or something.
It is. It's like movement art, and I enjoy that.
Well, cool. Thanks for your time.
Yes.
All right, we're here with Daniel.
Daniel Lindsay.
Daniel, nice to meet you. What's the name? Kurt.
Yeah, I got the car in it too.
We do the Virtual
Nice.
Slide Jam podcast. We're stoked to be out here, the Skate to Cape 10. Tell us about your Slide Jam experience today. How'd it go?
Well, I'm not typically a slide person. I do most of my skateboarding.
He's the most
on
dedicated
playground,
person I've
dancing,
ever met.
freestyle, things like that.
Adding stickers to his car.
I like push racing. I like manualing, things like that.
Good to see.
But I do like to.
Oh, yeah, for
experience
sure.
Gravity power from time to time. So I enjoyed the hill that was here, Skate the Cape. it wasn't too overwhelming. Not so overwhelming that I could manual down the whole thing without having to stop. Yeah. But overwhelming enough that I could get a nice long slide in if I tried. So
Yeah,
that was great.
I saw you going for some pretty cool like out of bounds stuff, which is good. It's cool to see someone like thinking outside the box for the hill because it was too much of a hill to work with. But you were definitely.
I know where I specialize, and I know I don't specialize in most of the big point tricks on the hill. So I figure I'll just bust out the little things I know I can do.
Well, that's a good way to do it, man. The creativity. So, who were some of your favorite skaters that stood out today that you saw, and who was killing it, and what tricks like stand out in your mind that you saw
for the slide?
Yeah,
slide. I always Jesse Fabrizio.
Oh yeah,
he stands out in everyone's mind. He's so steezy and has so much control over his board, even as it's going pretty fast down the hill.
Yeah.
I like seeing Breon just sort of bomb at the hill and wing you and see what comes to pass. But the thing that stood out the most was this fella named Animal, right? Animal is pretty much wearing a body.
He's coach legend himself.
He's got a back brace on. He's got all the pads. And he's going down on his butt, and he tried to do a butt slide, but somehow the board ended up doing a 180 and he did a 360. So he essentially did a big spin butt board slide. And then he proceeded to continue down the hill as if he did it on purpose. Dude, it was a full-fledged accident, but it looked
I couldn't tell if he was going for that stuff or it was just accidental, but either way, it was beautiful to watch.
Yeah. I think Animals that entertainment for us all.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Man. Thanks, Deanna.
Thanks, Kurt.
We'll see you later.
I'm so glad the audio turned out pretty good for that interview.
Yeah.
By that time, the music started playing.
Yeah, AI is a wonderful tool.
You're here.
The voice audio isolator. So yeah, let's just talk about Animal real quick.
Oh boy, the East Coast legend himself.
Yeah, so I did not know that he was like capable of doing all those things. Like I thought at first he was gonna be like, oh, I'm just gonna like do some weird shit and like, he was gonna be that guy, but no, he was like sending it off jumps and like doing like some really hard tricks that I've never even seen before. I was pleasantly surprised.
So Animal has a great reputation in the East Coast longboarding community, where he has an amazing personality. He's a wild character, and he suits himself up so protected, almost to the point where it's like you might as well just bubble wrap yourself. And what he does on the board is some of the most unconventional, most innovative, ambitious style of skating or tricks that anyone has ever seen. It's just that he rarely lands these different tricks. But, however, knowing him for 10 plus years, every once in a while, he actually will land his tricks, and it's the most mind-blowing thing you will ever witness from personal experience. It's rare that he lands his tricks, but when he does, it's like, oh my gosh, world star!
It kind of reminds me of Hot Rod, the movie Hot Rod.
Yeah, no, that's actually kind of that's actually not a bad way to describe Animal. Not character-wise, but when it comes to stunts, yes, that is definitely Animal.
I would definitely call it stunt boarding, but like one of the tricks that stood out to me was like he did like the paint me like one of your French girls pose with his elbow on the ground.
Yeah,
and he did a slide doing that. I was like, what?
Yeah,
I should figure that out.
That was like Animal, all right.
That was a new one. That was my favorite from Animal too, and his comedy set. He's an entertainer on and off the board.
Yeah, he's a good dude. He was there with like water purifier and helping people out and just being
He had his whole toolbox there.
Yeah, dude.
He has an impressive setup with his tools, man. It doesn't show up in a freaking tote bag of gear. No, he shows up in a Milwaukee brand Carpenter industrial commercial strength pull kit with a little pull handle with the wheels on the bottom. It's like, oh snap, this guy comes to play, man. He's not messing around.
And I
He's
swear,
invested.
every run he was on a different weird board contraption. Like I saw him with like the hook and bindings at a certain point, and like all sorts of weird shit.
He has a very difficult time resorting to one single board for any event because that's just our guy. That's just Animal. That's who he is as a person.
We need to get a podcast with Cactus Kevin and Animal at the same time.
Yeah.
Now that would be an entertaining episode.
Just have them interview each other.
Yeah.
Just give him like cue cards and whatnot, and just oh my gosh, that could be a whole episode right there. That would be amazing, actually. All right, I'm going to write that down in the notes. Interview with Cactus Kevin and Animal, both two very wild characters in this community. It's almost like that would be almost just as exciting as seeing Godzilla versus King Kong.
Yeah, we can even call it that. All right, well, let's get into the last part of this on-site interview where we interviewed Rob himself. You can't really see anything here because it was getting a little late, but we got some audio here.
Let's get the cape. We're with Rob Wheeler here. What's your name?
Reginald Hinton.
Reginald, the style master with the suit.
Yes, I did have the suit on. You're right.
What did you guys think of the skateboarding today at the event?
It was the best skate the cape skateboarding ever.
It's so fun. I mean, 10 years, it's crazy to think about it, how original each week or every season that we do it. It's just so different. The talent that comes, dude, the competition that comes, it's just, and then still the atmosphere, everyone's just awesome still. You know, the music's great. It's just a cool situation.
What do you think the difference was between other Skate the Capes and this Skate the Cape for the Slide Jam this year?
Oh gosh,
like what was different about the Slide Jam this time around?
I would say competition's definitely a factor, dude, for sure. But then people feeding off each other too, in a good way.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like you see that person doing whatever they're doing, like damn, I'm gonna do it too. And if they can do it, I can do it. It's like people feed on it.
I like that people have the option to feed off each other.
Yeah, I think that really picked up
contests.
Yep, I agree.
Who'd you guys like? Who stoked you out today?
Izzy took the pro #1, first time here, first time skate the cape.
Amazing.
Yep.
And he was like holding it down for every run, being real clean, doing like some pretty sick blunt slides, no comply slides.
He was solid in the jam and both final runs.
Yep.
Were sick.
Consistent as hell. What do you guys think of like the best trick or the best like person who you enjoyed watching the most? Like what was like the thing that you saw today that sticks out?
I can't remember the girl's name. I think she's standing right there. She was doing the dance thing. It's when she did it every year last time too, which does the upside down riding the dance off thing. Gosh, she crushes it. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Renee, yeah.
Renee. Dude, I could watch that over and over. I just think it's so cool.
The dance competition was definitely
Animal got into it. People and the music choice, the DJ, whoever was in charge of like the choice of songs, I think they really fed on it. Just everyone had fun with it. I love that one too. That one's fun. It's not as competitive.
The dance contest was my favorite Skate the Cape event today.
Yeah, me too.
Because actually the riders got to pick their songs.
Oh, no way. I didn't know that. Oh, dude, that makes it even better. Now it makes Animal's song make way more sense.
Yeah.
That's cool. I didn't know that.
Cool vibe.
Yeah. And people were like jumping off their boards and just dancing, like forgetting they were even in a skate.
Yeah,
it was like the Titanic song.
Yeah, that's funny. I didn't know they picked them. I thought it was random.
It was so good, dude.
But it was cool. Food truck, taco rehab, coffee truck, all of them good.
Yep. I think the best trick I saw all day today was the nose blunt shove it out by Timmy B. That was pretty awesome. And I was talking to him as he went down the hill. He was saying like, man, nothing's landed on my feet today. I'm off. This isn't gonna work out. And then like literally next run, he just crushed it.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. His jam was a little sloppy, but he actually had the best final run in our opinion. And that was cool because I've seen Timmy skate a bunch, and like it was cool to see him put that down. Like those are some insane tricks.
Yeah.
And he used the ramps. So that was cool, and that bumped him up to third place because he just like crushed it.
Yeah,
in the final.
Like you could tell he was going for like some real hammers the whole time, and he landed everything.
And like everything, it was a flawless run.
Yeah,
it was really cool. But always love to see Jesse Fabrizio. I love that like heel side toe side thing that he does.
Oh yeah, so much fun.
So fucking cool.
Like rudder, the boat thing.
And he's just like pretty smooth the whole way down. Yeah. But yeah, Izzy, I mean, maybe it's because it was his first time here. He just like was fresh to us, and we kind of like know what Jesse and Max can like.
Maybe
that might have had that against them, honestly. But it's Skate the Cape, and they've won plenty of shit, so it's fine.
Yeah. The longest slides were great too. Like people were getting pretty fucking far real quick.
Yep.
And then I was like, hey, like you'll go way farther if you put your hands under your butt. And then Izzy did it, and he fucking managed to like make the longest distance, and everyone else was like, oh, what? Okay. Loophole, let's go.
Right.
But Oliver ended up winning with just like a standard ass toe side, hands down, Superman.
Nice.
So keeping to the books.
Cool to see the different styles. Yeah.
Yeah.
It is, yeah.
The different techniques and how.
Flat spotting wheels.
Yep. Love it.
And the younger kids too, dude. I feel like there's a lot of, or maybe I'm just seeming older. I don't know, because we're like in the cabins with our kids and shit. But like, seems like this year it's a lot more younger people coming. So it's cool to see that it's still growing. You know,
this is the biggest turnout ever.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like I've never seen the perimeter like filled up as much as it has been. Like usually this is just filled over here, but like last time there was like one person over there, but now it's like full, which is really cool to see.
I can't even imagine if this whole field was like packed full of campers, like what that would mean.
Which is possible, and
definitely possible.
It would be crazy. Like it would mean a lot of logistics.
Wait,
and,
I think Robin might have just admitted to this not being the last. Did you just break that ice right there?
All you need is a vert ramp. A vert ramp.
We'll see.
Vert ramp.
Well, okay. Yeah, we might be in there.
We'll see.
Vert ramp and an LDP. We got it. Hell yeah.
I think a Birdman would be an excellent addition to Skate the Cape, or one of those portable pump tracks I've seen before at events.
I was thinking that too. Both of those would be pretty cool.
That would be pretty rad.
I mean, yeah, you don't even have to be responsible for it. Just get someone who wants to set it up and let them handle it.
Mm-hmm.
That's one way to go about it.
What was that?
That's one way to go about it, yeah. Just post it up, be like, all right, somebody else's problem.
Yeah. Rob can be the producer, and then all the other little directors can do their shit. But yeah, I mean, dude, so like I was saying earlier, like I used to go to slide jams with border cross races and downhill races and stuff in small towns, small hills, and they were always just such a pleasure. And I haven't been to one since like 2016, so it's been at least 9 years. And then coming back to Skate the Cape and having that all just like living that again was just so refreshing. And it's kind of made me honestly like change what kind of skate events I want to go to now. Like I'm not really trying to go to like big mountain free rides where there's no goal. It's just skate. I mean, like those are fun, but I can do that anytime I want. Like I'd much rather go to a skate event that has like a little bit of contest vibe, a little bit of just like show off your style vibe, like a little bit of like, oh, he's pushing it, I'm gonna push it. Like all that kind of stuff is just so. That's what it means to have an event to me. Like I want to see people doing some really unique stuff and making me think about trying some shit I wouldn't have done otherwise. So
yeah,
awesome.
I think I've always liked slide jams the most out of all the longboarding competitions that there are. So I think having that vibe going into doing this event, even the very first year in 2012 was the first year I did it. And, I did slide jam, slalom, and downhill racing because that's what I liked. But the slide jam vibe is just kind of what I think helped guide us in the right direction, especially for like a hill like that. It kind of just like took over all the other events. It was kind of like we're sliders, but we're doing downhill. Just fuck it. It's a chill hill. Why not? And I like slalom. Wiggle some cones. You can do it. Try it out. So I think just having that non-serious mentality and yeah, just having chill hills, it can be more fun, more community building. You get to hang out with people more than doing a free ride event where you're top to bottom and then you're just kind of like waiting around. So yeah, that's cool to hear that it kind of changed your mindset of what events you want to go do. I'd like to hear that.
Go to more skate festivals.
Yeah, skate festivals, slide jams. Support
well,
people
guys-
that are doing events, whatever they're doing. Just gotta go. Gotta support it if you want to keep it going.
Absolutely. Any tips or words of wisdom for people who are trying to maybe create their own Skate the Cape-esque event?
Yes, I do, and I have like a 10-point program that I believe is on Faceplant Board Riders. But yeah, I'd be happy to share that information with anyone that ever wants to do an event. There's like a 10-step program basically to get you started, basic steps. But to do it right, it takes a lot of time and planning, and you got to have a good team, and you have to be consistently persistent to get that permit. Once you get the permit, then you can figure out the other stuff. But yeah, that's kind of like the whole thing. There's a whole step process of what to focus on when, and yeah, that can be a whole podcast on how to do an event, honestly. But with Skate the Cape, I'd say do what you're good at, and then every Skate the Cape I try to look at it and be like, what did we do good? Let's keep that. What can we get rid of? And what can we do new? And I think that's really helped the event keep growing, having the new things, whether it was music, a certain new artist, a certain new skate event. Yeah, that kept it fresh.
Yeah, I think what you're saying about having the type of skating that you like is huge, because you know that could be different all over the world. You know, like if everyone's into downhill and raging, then those are the kind of events you're going to get. If everyone's into like straight and park, those are the kind of events you're going to get. So maybe look around to see what communities' style of skating, preferred skating is.
Totally. And until you do those other disciplines, you like don't even know it either. Like when I did the long distance push race, you know, I just started getting into push racing, and then I was just like, oh wow, there's a perfect bike loop here for us to do a push race on. So it's like you don't know what you're missing unless you try it out. So that's the other thing. Try out all the disciplines of longboarding. You know, maybe you think you're in a downhill bubble, but really you might have great, I don't know, something else. You definitely have a good slide jam hill somewhere if you're hitting downhill. So just need to keep your mind open, and you have to have that like accessibility for the event, I think, to keep it growing too. You can do these really gnarly free ride events, but you know, where's the entry level at to those kind of things?
Right. Like
You're not wrong.
every time I go to like a Giant's Head or a Tepe or Maryhill less so, but like I see maybe like 2 or 3 riders new who are like, oh, I've never done anything like this before. This is my first time. And that number should be like 20 or 30.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not a whole lot of recruitment programs exactly going around these days. I feel like we should.
We should. Yeah.
The recruitment program that I think all of us are used to, who came up in like the early 2010s, are like just like progression of just like everybody on easily accessible hills in our towns.
Right.
And like, you know, that's where effort was being put in, because that's what we were all skating. But now the level's so high that we want to go skate these big mountain roads. It's like we're not really getting the benefits of having a lower progression threshold, I guess.
Well, maybe we should open up a venue for the beginner sliders or downhillers who may not be at the top tier high level as someone is, you know, Max Caps or Liam Morgan, but might be something that's a little more beginner friendly. You know what I mean? Something a little smaller, something a little slower. Like, well, hell, I mean, I think Maryhill is a great beginner downhill course because it's not super fast. You're not going 50 miles an hour. Granted, yeah, it's pretty long. Like your legs are jello by the end of it, but at least it's something, a downhill course, a legitimate course in the downhill world that is slightly more beginner friendly, that someone doesn't have to worry about drifting around a corner so they can grip the turn. Like it's just, you know, it's all grip. And I think the fastest speed you get on Maryhill is like what, 30 30 something. Like I've heard somebody go 40, 45, but that's only if you get tailwind. But on an ordinary day, you're lucky if you're breaking 30.
Yeah,
What do you
with
think?
I'm not trying to knock the free ride events either, because they're great because the road is closed and you're getting shuttles to the top. So,
Agreed.
if you're into downhill skateboarding, it's a great opportunity to get better quick. But I think the beauty of Skate the Cape is we had 8 different skateboard competitions that brought together, Game of Skate, street deck skaters, longboarders doing dance competition, classic slide jam, longest slide, and then hippie jump. So like that is that's a really different mix. And the next day it's racing, and racing, everyone's different. You got the push racers are different from the slalom racers, different from the border cross racers, and they're different from the downhill racers. Now it's cool to see the people that do it all, because you're like, holy shit, that's actually like really impressive that you can do all those pretty well. So I think that's the cool part about doing different events like Skate the Cape, because you bring in more of the community that we don't get to hang out as often. So
Yeah.
that's a
And
cool part of it.
one thing about the community aspect of Skate the Cape, which I really enjoyed, was that at first you come into the event, and you see all these people, and you're not really sure if they're skaters or if they're spectators. And then, you do one event, you see a couple of them come out of the woodwork and start skating. You do another event, you see a couple more come out of the woodwork and start skating that event. And by the end of the event, you know how everyone skates. And you can kind of respect that. Like everyone's throwing it down in their own personal way. And that's like, I give a lot of respect for those kind of people. It's because they have a discipline, and they get to show it off at Skate the Cape. It's beautiful.
True. Yeah. And like gives them a platform. And it was really cool to see the interview you guys did with Noah, how stoked he was, to get that affirmation from you, Jarrid. And like, I think we all don't realize that, because we're all, it's a very individual sport. You're kind of in your own head, and we don't realize how big of a deal stuff like that is to another rider. And like Izzy, I was really stoked to see how stoked he was from this win, and what that's going to do for his confidence moving forward from this. And stoked to give him the win, just to like see that. And same with Noah, to see their stoke. And he was super stoked to see Jesse Fabrizio. It was like his dream. And like we kind of like don't realize that, because we're all like homies, and it's like nobody's making a ton of money, so nobody's like famous, but it is a big deal within our community. And it's just kind of cool to see that. And people have come up to me throughout the years. Max did like Skate the Cape 8, like told me how much it meant to him. Me doing Skate the Cape and having that platform for him to compete. And when you feel like you win, you feel like this was a big event. There was a lot of good riders here. I did something. So that's been the coolest part for me, because that's what I wanted. That's why I started doing these events, because I was a rider that I loved going to slide jams, and I just didn't feel like my style was getting out on the platform that I wanted it to. And I worked really hard to get to that level. So I wanted to display it somewhere. So I'm really glad that it meant something to those riders.
You're not wrong, Rob. Sometimes you get so caught up with, you're so busy climbing the mountain. Sometimes you don't stop for a second to enjoy the view. In other words, you're so busy hustling and bustling. Sometimes you forget the impact it causes on other people until you run into someone and they say something very nice or inspiring, like, wow, I was like, hey, you're so-and-so. I was, you motivated me or inspired me to do such and such. You're like, wait, really? You're like, yeah, you really helped me out. It's like, oh, I had no idea. Sometimes that's how it goes. And it's happened to you, Rob. It's happened to me. And I'm sure it's happened to Kurt at the events that you've been a part of. I'm sure someone has walked up to all of us at some point, but like, hey, you inspired me to do such and such. It's like, whoa.
Yeah, dude.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
I had someone from, Izzy came up to me and said, dude, your videos like back in 2015, like inspired me to like get out and make stuff. And I'm like, which videos? And he's like, oh, your like product reviews. And I was like, what? Dude, you're on the East Coast. I'm on the West Coast. Like, no way. It was crazy.
Man.
It is cool. We're all connected in this crazy ways that you don't like. You made that product video. You're like probably like, man, nobody fucking even watched that. What the hell? And then like all
Yeah, dude, it's weird how that comes back to you years later.
Yeah,
it was worth it.
I think
that's what makes it worth it, dude.
What we're getting at here is, if we're all just progressing for progression's sake, and we all can't be sponsored skaters who have like a video part on YouTube or whatever. It is nice to have these events where you can go and like enjoy your progression and like, with other people and kind of see where you are, hear people be stoked on you, give you a high five. Like that's honestly what keeps people going and gives them hope that what they're doing means
afraid,
something.
if you are a really good rider, comment on people's stuff like, hey, that's really awesome, like trick, like shit like that. It can go such a long way. And something pretty easy. And yeah, it's just a cool way for us. Like I get stoked when I put out a skate video and some of my fellow skaters, compliment it or something. That's like, oh, good, somebody saw it. And like, yeah, I hurt myself doing that a couple times. So it's nice to nice to know people are digging it. But we do it because it feels good. That's what it comes down to. Skateboarding feels good to yourself. And it's more fun to do it with others. And the more we share it with these events, the more fun it is.
Hear, hear.
Yep, I agree. All right, I think that's a wrap, guys. Thanks
Yeah,
for sliding
good.
through.